Hello everybody! Back again for another instalment. Thanks very much for coming back to Times with James. Let me start this video actually from a slightly more warmer climate. Hey guys, here is what's coming up next, innit? Ooh, I do love a beer in a pool in the sunshine in February with ice in it. In this week's video, I finally passed all my written exams for my private pilot's license. But we will jump straight into the cockpit while I train for the most nerve-wracking part of the whole PPL, the 3-hour skills test where we sit next to an instructor and they put us through our paces. But before we do that, let's pop back to Fuerteventura, go to a restaurant nearby where I was given access to the kitchen and a chance to interview some of the staff about what it's like to work there. So please hit that like, please hit the subscribe, please comment, and let's get on with the video. See you soon. Well, you got a bit, that's pretty cool. It's so cool. I can't get my head over it, around how mental it is when you're under one of those things. The massive amount of weight that there is in an aircraft and that energy that is literally 40 feet above you. A couple of years ago I came out here, I don't know why I always do this, but before I started this channel up and everything, a few years ago we were out in Fuerteventura for our February sunshine cheapy beast, and I came out here and there was a bloke, he turned up, parked right next to me, literally I'm in the middle of nowhere thinking what is going to happen here, this sounds a bit dodgy, and I was like, oh hello, and he was like, hello, and I was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, I'm meeting someone. I was like, what? You're in the middle of nowhere, man. Right, let's wait for this next plane to come in. Do we change lens? So for those of you who follow the channel for a while will know that I often go out to Fuerteventura in February. It's nice and cheap. But you'll also know that I'm a big fan of museums and culture and seeing stuff and seeing history and all that, and I'm afraid to say that you're not going to get a lot of that in Fuerteventura. That being said, there's nothing wrong with laying down by the pool, reading loads of books, drinking quite a lot of wine and beer, and having a look around the local towns. We were particularly lucky because our villa was right next to the 5th hole of this golf course, which meant I could sit and take the mickey out of all the golfers coming up. So anyway, we're out in Fuerteventura. This is our annual holiday really. We do it in February. It's very, very cheap. It's about 200 quid each for a week to get 25-degree hot sun in February after 4 hours of sitting on a plane, so it's not that bad. But tonight I'm filming at a restaurant. We went to this restaurant a few days ago and they've got an open kitchen that everyone can see, and all they do is cook loads of steak and stuff like that. I went to the maitre d' or the manager and just said, look mate, do you mind if I pop in a couple of days time and ask the staff some questions and just find out what it's like to work in your place? And he very kindly said yes. We spent the afternoon having a lovely barbecue, a couple of bottles of wine and a few beers before venturing down to the town of Caletta de Fuste. When I was last in Fuerteventura, this beach was not in this kind of state. In fact, this beach is about 50% man-made, which is kind of cool. There's a lovely walkway around the coastline with little shops and that. There's loads of cats and that laying about, like stray cats. Big G would go absolutely mental if I touched one of them, he'd know straight away. Anyway, I flew the drone back inland to try and find the actual restaurant where we were going to film so I could get a little bit of B-roll for that and actually set up the scene for you a little bit. But guess what? I couldn't even find the restaurant, so I sort of flew about a bit, looked around. All I can tell you is that it's somewhere around here. I don't really know where. In the end, I got fed up and flew back, landed the drone, and we walked the rest of the way. So anyway, we're sitting in a restaurant in the deepest of southern Spain, are we not? Yeah guys, I have to admit I probably had maybe 1, 2 or 3 bottles of wine with my mate there. It's one of those things, sorry, we were on holiday, but that didn't stop us from going around documenting our time in the restaurant and also getting some stories from the guys who work in there.
Español, en español, ¿no?
No.
Do I need to go and put the makeup on and all that stuff?
most of our questions were kind of light-hearted to draw them into conversation. So our first one was, what do you think of vegans?
What do I think of vegans? It's an option, like everybody go there, you know. I like my steak blue, rare, but you know, it's obviously, we have to satisfy the customer. But I can remember we done around 900 on New Year's Eve of 2016.
Wow.
My favorite cut is the T-bone. You got beef fillet, you got beef sirloin, you got beef fat, gives the flavor. So for me, my personal choice. English. No doubt.
Here.
You don't see many.
You don't get many vegans.
No. No. I live here all my life in Fuerteventura. I like this.
So have you been to Spain or?
Only Las Palmas.
Spain?
But in Spain, I never going. I was born in Lanzarote and 1 month is coming here. All my life is in Fuerteventura.
Sorry about the sound here, guys. It was clear that Mary was quite shy and didn't really want to be interviewed that much. And also her voice was just hard to pick out with the background noise. Anyway, I closed her little interview by asking her if she had any travel plans for the future.
Yes, it's going to Italia, Barcelona. When I had the opportunity, I go.
¿Tienes trógono? El Chateaubriand, por favor. ¿Tienes trógono? No, prosciutto mixta media, pizza diavola.
What brings you to this restaurant today?
We love the steaks here.
And you've been here before then? You sound like you know what you're on about.
Yeah, I've been here 2 or 3 times to this restaurant over the years.
And why Fuerteventura as well? What's sort of the reason to come back to Fuerteventura?
We love it. It's warm, it's sunny, you get out of the winter.
We used to go away for a month at a time to India, but that's a 9 or 11 hour flight,
And you
5
get-
hour time difference.
And you get a ruddy bum. Yes, you do.
Never had one.
Really? Oh, you're luckier than I am.
I'm from North Spain. I'm from Bilbao, but I live here 23 years.
Bilbao?
Yeah.
So
North Spain.
Basque Spain.
Yeah, I am back. I live now here 23 years, but I from Bilbao. Yeah.
Why did you move from Bilbao?
Because when I am children, no children now because I have 47 years. When I have 23 years, come here for surf.
Oh, okay.
Surf.
And the weather is good?
It's very good here. I like it.
Have you got family in Bilbao?
Yeah, I have my father and my mother.
Okay, and how often do you go back to Bilbao?
I go 2 times in years for holidays.
Who complains the most, Germans or English?
I don't know.
Come on, everyone else has told us. We know.
I don't know.
Germans or English?
England.
English.
But the German people is good person, but it's very different. The German people is more, the English people are always more, you understand, it's different.
I mean, the owner Carlos been living here for many years, and through my brother, which works with us as well in one of the other restaurants, I came on holiday and I stayed.
How do you find life on the island? Do you find it?
It's phenomenal. I mean, you get, in this industry, you work hard, but then you get good wages as well. The only thing is that the island is a small island, like everybody knows, and you get stuck and you get, I wouldn't say fed up, but used to the island. It's too small. You do everything in about a month, and then
So it's a bit limited.
limited. That's the word. Exactly. I mean, myself, I've tried to move away from Fuerteventura already twice, and I always came back. It's better wages, the comfort, the climate. I mean, the people. The cultures.
Is it not weird living on a small island where every week so many people come in, so many people leave, and it's a real sort of churn of
That's the charm of the island. Is the cultures, the knowledge that you can get other people, that makes it interesting. If you have a closed mind, then the island they will defeat you.
Yeah.
But if not, and if you like to experience other cultures, and if you like, to learn another language, it gives you a very good opportunity.
We didn't really expect to be talking about loads of deep stuff here, but that's just how conversations go, especially when you've had a drink or two. But I can't thank the guys at Fado Rock enough. It was brilliant that they just let us go in there and film after I'd asked them a few days earlier. And also it was great that they were quite happy to talk about subjects that were close to their heart and not actually about the restaurant itself. That being said, I wasn't really able to interview any of the cooks or the chefs or anything because they were flat out the whole time we were there. They were all gracious, however, to let us film. I hope that I didn't get in their way. It was great to have a sneak peek into what it's like to work in a restaurant, but also what it's like to live on an island whose population is constantly in flux by the constantly changing population of tourists. I can also highly recommend the food they serve here, definitely the best restaurant in Caletta de Fuste, and a fantastic steak too. This set of interviews wrapped up another great week in Fuerteventura. 4 days later, I'd be back in England training for my skills test. Let's just get this takeoff out of the way and then I'll describe to you what we're doing for our general skills test. See the general skills test as like your driving license, going to do your driving test but in a plane. Among other things, we're tested on our navigation, we're tested on general handling of the plane and also stall recoveries, things like that. What we're going to concentrate on here is practice forced landings, which I'm sure you'll agree is a good thing to keep practicing. So let's have a run through the procedure that I'd have to do if we say had an engine failure at 2,500 feet. So guys, we'll be flying along doing everything, we're about 3,000 feet actually here. And then Jeremy, you'll see my instructor, he'll just be like, right, I'm pulling the power, just out of nowhere. He won't tell me he's about to do it. And that's when we have to enter this procedure. So straight away, try and get any height you can. Trim for the best glide speed of the aircraft, which for a Cessna that we're in, it's around 70 knots. And that is like 4 trims down. And trim C is the autopilot. It will try and hold the nose up, but we'll be able to glide in at a safe speed. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking over to my left and to my right, looking for a field that is in line with the wind. Green as well. If it's a brown field, it means it could have been ploughed. Don't really want to be landing on one of those. We call this planning the descent. So I've looked now, I've probably picked out a field that I want to land in. That looks like a safe bet. There's no pylons or anything like that behind it. I'm happy with what's going on. Maybe I haven't found one by the looks of it. I'm looking elsewhere now. That one I might not like. Oh, there we go, look at them. Found one that I like there. Once we've planned our descent, we'll now enter a normal circuit. Now I'm going through engine restart. So we're making sure the primer's in, making sure our magnetos are both okay, switching between left and right magneto. These are called touch drills, by the way. Then I'll make sure that maybe a bit of carb heat might help because we might have icing on the carburetor. Move the throttle in and out, make sure the mixture's okay, make sure that we've got fuel set to both, make sure we've got enough fuel. And at this point, if it doesn't work, we call a mayday. So it would be a mayday, would be like mayday, 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 engine failure. We are having a forced landing around this area. We're at 2,000 feet, and then literally get on with what you're doing. Squawk 7700 on the transponder, and then there's a small beacon that we have that I would say to Jeremy, my instructor, pull this now, we need this beacon on, and then we'll go through the engine shutdown procedure, which is mixture lean, throttle out, carb heat doesn't really matter, magnetos off, but leave your electrics on. So now we've done all the hard bits. It's literally get the plane down. Let's get down safely. And you wouldn't believe, if we do have an engine out, the safety, we can land one of these planes at roughly 45, 50 miles an hour in a green field. So now I'm turning on to what would be the base leg of this circuit. We're losing altitude, so we're at now 1,500 feet, so I'm giving it one stage of flap because I think now that I can definitely reach this field. The more certain that I am that I can reach the field, the more stages of flap I'll give it. So I might, looking at this, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do here because I haven't watched this back yet, and this is quite good revision for me. So now we are going to turn onto what would be final, I guess. The thing is, all the way down, you'll be looking at the fields, thinking, oh, actually, I might change where I want to be, which field I want to be on. As you just see there as well, Jeremy's just asked me to rev the engine up a bit because we have to do that as part of this procedure when we're doing a forced landing, because we don't actually want the engine to properly quit because we're idling up the plugs or something. So now I think we can see the field that we're about to go down into, and that's that sort of zigzaggy field to the left of that zigzag. Now I'm telling Jeremy to brace. This is what we're going to do. Leave the door, but we'd also open our doors as well to make sure that we can get out of the plane quickly. And now I think we've pretty much got 2 stages, probably one more stage of flap now, and that is it. We're pretty much in for this landing. We're going to make it. It's going to be pretty safe. In a second, Jeremy's going to be like, right, yeah, you'd have made that landing. Let's go. We don't want to scare everyone who's down in this field if there's anyone there. But that is a successful practice force landing. Now, Jeremy didn't tell me he was going to do this, and he said the instructors tend to do this on the general skills test. But we're doing our climb out now. I'm getting rid of stages of flap, trying to get up to, we'll be looking to get up to 2,000 feet. But at that point, Jeremy was like, no. I'm going to pull the power again and just do you over. So we had to do what's known as EFARTO. It's emergency forced landing after takeoff. So yeah, that's what he's just done to me there. And now it's yet again trim for 70 knots. This time it's all you say is literally we're going down, shut down procedure as soon as you can. You could try if you want to get the engine going, but we've only got 600 feet to play with here. We've chosen our field, and now we're about to go in there as well. We practice forced landings regularly, a lot. I mean, it's something you have to be able to do without thinking about it. You have to be able to go through these procedures and do it safely and in the right order to make sure that if you do have this in real life that you're safe. And Jeremy was happy with that. He was like, yeah, you definitely have made that field. The thing is, once we get down low, you can flare the aircraft and really land at a very slow speed and make everything really, really safe. And I love doing them as a practice. It's so much fun. But there we go. So my general skills test is going to be in the next couple of weeks, and it is a 3-hour absolute beast session of being put through my paces by an instructor. So there'll be a few more lessons with Jeremy, getting all that brushed up, and then I will go and do it. And you guys will be the first to know about it, other than my wife and all my family and that, if I pass or not. So let's just watch this rather rusty landing. That wasn't too bad. Brilliant. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's Times with James video, guys. I know it's been a little while coming. I've been away, obviously, as you know, and that kind of got in the way of editing procedures and stuff. So please hit that subscribe button, please comment, please like, and I'll see you in next week's video. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you soon. Emily, can you turn my camera off, please? Oh, yes. It's February. Oh yes, it's a February.
Turn it off.
Press the stop button.
Is it filming?
Yeah.